The Music City Center is alive today. This is the day. The 2013 Groundwater Expo actually gets underway. Noon to 6 today. You'll see all kinds of activity. Everything you'll want to know and learn about the groundwater industry will be taking place right here on the exhibit hall floor of the Music City Center. This 2013 Groundwater Expo. Just going to be full of activity. A great deal going on here today. Again, the hours noon to 6 today. If you have any questions, the registration desk is kind of a help desk that you can go there to get your information if you have any questions or anything that you need. Also, a great resource is the bookstore. While you're here, you're making great connections. You're learning what's new, all the new technology that's out there. Also, would be wise to run by that bookstore and make sure that this trip, you just get everything you can out of it. Some great new resources available there. Just a wealth of information at the bookstore. You'll find that right near the entrance to the exhibit hall floor here of the 2013 Groundwater Expo. Hello and welcome to the 2013 National Groundwater Expo here at the beautiful Music City Center in Nashville, Tennessee. The folks at the Groundwater Association have thought of everything to make sure that this expo has everything you need, even a shuttle. There's a expo shuttle sponsored by JetLube. It's going to take place on Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. On Wednesday, it runs from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And on Thursday, 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. That services the Music City Center between right here and the Renaissance Nashville Hotel, which is the headquarter hotel, and also the Sheraton Nashville Hotel. That's going to take place Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Again, sponsored and brought to you by JetLube. Hello from the Groundwater TV MudTech stage here at the 2013 Groundwater Expo. Excited about this interview, an interesting conversation, a great educational opportunity that's taking place this week. Tim McDaniel, he is with Ray & Associates, a firm that is great at valuing companies. And Tim, you wrote this book. The name of the book is Know and Grow: The Value of Your Business.
That's correct.
What led you to this?
Well, it's very interesting. I've done about 2,000 engagements, and I started noticing maybe around the 1,000th engagement that business owners really don't have a clue what their value is of their business.
Right.
And they're making very serious mistakes because of that. And sort of a funny story. One lady came to me and said, "Tim, I need you to value my business." And I said, "Well, what's the purpose?" She goes, "I'm going to sell my business to my son for $2.5 million. And I said, "Well, why do you need me?" She says, "You have to prove it to the bank." I go, "Oh, really?" So I said, "Well, how'd you set the price?" She goes, "Well, that's how much I need to support my country club lifestyle."
Wow.
And I went in and actually valued her business, and it was worth $800,000. She wasn't happy with me.
I bet not.
And her whole retirement plans were dashed because she didn't have a clue what her business was really worth.
Right.
So that led me to start writing a lot about the business owner, how to treat their business like the investment it is, because their business investment's usually 50, 60, 70% of their net worth.
Right.
But they really don't know what the value is. They don't have a plan to grow it.
Right.
And they don't know how to get out of it.
The talk that you're giving is how to treat your business like a business, which is
like an investment.
Like an investment,
Yes.
which begs the question: what do most business owners treat their business as?
Some treat it like a piggy bank.
Right.
Some people don't really. They treat it like a place where they go to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
They don't step back, and they're dealing with customers, they're dealing with their employees, but they don't really step back and say, "This truly is an investment. This is how I'm going to retire."
Yeah.
And they don't really have a plan how to grow it.
Right.
And grow that investment.
Yeah. Well, what are a couple of the most common mistakes that people make in how they treat their business from a financial perspective?
Well, I think one of the most common mistakes they have is if this is a significant part of their net worth, they don't step back and have a plan to grow the value.
Okay.
And probably the most common mistake is they don't really select an exit strategy or develop a succession plan early in the process. Sometimes you have to deal with some very difficult issues like, do I want to give it to my kids? Do I want to sell to my competitor?
Right.
They're hard things to deal with. Mm-hmm. And it takes a long time to have a successful exit from your business.
Right.
So they don't start that early enough in the process.
Right.
I think it's probably the biggest mistake I see.
Right. Tips like that you can get by picking up the book. The name of the book again, Know and Grow the Value of Your Business, an Owner's Guide to Retiring Rich, which is all of our goals,
yes.
I think. Tim McDaniel, the best place to pick up a copy of the book?
You can get it on Amazon.com. Just simply Google or type in the Know and Grow the Value of Your Business in the search title, and it will come up.
All right.
And you can buy it on Kindle, or you can buy it on the hard copy.
A good start and a worthy investment for sure, Tim.
All right.
Thanks so much for the time. And thanks for being a part of the 2013 Groundwater Expo.
You're welcome.
Hi, David Lamb here with this Groundwater TV update brought to you by MudTech here at the Music City Center, getting ready for the 2013 Groundwater Expo. It's going to be a great event. An event you want to mark on your calendars is going to take place Wednesday from 10 to 12 at the Davidson Ballroom. It's an annual event that's always great, the opening ceremonies and the award presentation. Now, that's going to take place, but what's happening this year that's really neat is a concert by the fantastic country group Sweethearts of the Rodeo.
I'm a midnight girl in a sunset town. I'm a midnight girl in a sunset town.
That's going to be fantastic. Sweethearts of the Rodeo taking part in the opening ceremonies and also the awards presentation again from 10 to 12 in the Davidson Ballroom. A great event taking place here at the 2013 Groundwater Expo. This Groundwater TV update brought to you by MudTech. Welcome back to the MudTech stage at the 2013 Groundwater Expo. Here with Carrie Siliberto. She's with AGC, a part of the Expo this year. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Now tell us first of all about AGC and what you're here, what you're up to at the Groundwater Expo.
Absolutely. AGC is the Associated General Contractors of America, and I'm actually here on behalf of Consensus Docs. I have the privilege and honor of holding dual titles. Consensus Docs is a coalition of 40 associations in the design and construction industry, including the National Groundwater Association, that come together to write best practice standard documents.
Oh, good.
So I'm here giving a presentation and trying to inform the NGWA members about not only the wonderful benefit they get of a discount on the documents, but how the contracts can benefit them in their businesses.
Right. Now, not everyone's going to be able to make it to the presentation, so kind of give us a quick summary, an overview of what we'd learn.
Sure. What you'd learn is Consensus Docs, like I say, is a coalition of 40 associations covering owners, design professionals, contractors, subcontractors, surety folks, so the whole gamut around the industry. And what makes these standard contracts different is that, number one, we have this coalition of 40 associations, so that you're getting perspectives from all stakeholders in the industry instead of just contracts being skewed towards the benefit of one party or another. Our contracts are skewed in the best interest of the project.
Right.
Skew is actually a bad word,
Yeah.
but they are written so the project is the best interest party there.
Yeah.
And so National Groundwater Association members would benefit by using these contracts, number one, by the discount they would receive through
Right.
the NGWA 100 discount code, but also through fair risk allocation, in that the party in the best position to manage the risk really should be managing that risk. And so these contracts are not shoving risk down to the last person to sign a contract
Right.
left holding the bag. These contracts have already looked at, okay, what are your roles and responsibilities? So number one, fair risk allocation. Number two, we try to write in plain English. We think it's important that folks read and understand the contract they're signing. That's going
sure.
to govern their performance.
Yeah.
So those are two very key important things that I think folks would really benefit from.
You sound like you are quite the wellspring of information. If our viewers want to find out more about you and the work you're doing, how's the best way?
They can check our website. We have a lot of free resources on the website in
Okay.
addition to the contract. So I would have them go to www.consensusdocs.org. That's consensus.org.
Okay.
And they can contact me through agc.org and reach out to me. And again, I'm Carrie Siliberto.
All right, Carrie, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being a part.
Appreciate
And
it.
thanks so much for the conversation today here from the MudTech stage of the 2013 Groundwater Expo. Here at the Wayne of Mud Technology, booth 329, where you'll find the good folks of MudTech. Now, tell us about this piece of equipment right here, Dwayne. This looks like this is something else.
We built this for mainly for water wheel guys. It's designed after a piece of equipment that we use from HDD a lot. What it is, it's a smaller version of our trash pump. We took our larger version and reduced it down. This will pump about 400 gallons a minute, 7.5 horsepower motor. Basically, if anything will fit, and I'll show you the intake here on this pump. Basically, if you get rocks, debris, gravel, sand, anything, if it can fit through here, then it's gonna pump. It's a trash pump, pit pump, and there's a lot of different references for that.
Yeah.
We've designed our equipment to be able to plug in, so you can take this and actually plug it into the unit when you're on location. So that gives the driller opportunity where he can take this with him as a piece of equipment to match the recycler.
You guys are always responding to the needs of your customers and clients, aren't
That's right. We try to. We listen to our customers and try to develop our equipment to match their needs.
you? Well, if folks come see you, the booth number again?
It's 329. Come see us.
Be sure and check them out. The Mud Technology booth 329 right here at the 2013 Groundwater Expo. Hi, I'm David Lamb with this Groundwater TV update brought to you by MudTech. Another event you want to mark on your calendar is going to involve these guys. We are in the Music City, stars everywhere, the Bellamy Brothers. Remember them? They had the big hit, Let Your Love Flow?
Just let your love flow like a mountain stream and let your love flow.
Well, it's going to be your chance to see them. It's going to take place on Thursday the 5th, 2:30 to 4 p.m., Exhibit Hall stage, and the Bellamy Brothers are going to be performing. But another great thing you're going to be able to do that day is go ahead and learn all that you need to know and to even register for next year's Expo, which returns to Las Vegas. It's all going to take place, and learn and register about next year's Expo in Vegas and get a concert from the Bellamy Brothers. It's going to be a great night. Welcome to the MudTech stage of the 2013 Groundwater Expo. Here with Lloyd Watson, past president of the Groundwater Association. How are you, sir?
Doing fine, sir. I hope you are.
Doing well. Now, how long have you been coming to the Groundwater Expo, you guess?
20 plus years.
20 plus years.
Yeah.
How different is the Expo now versus when you first started showing up around here?
Well, the people have changed quite a bit. We have a lot of the younger generation coming on in the business, and the technology that we used to not have, we have now, and we come to the Expo to learn how to utilize this new technology to make our business grow and be more profitable.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask you, as a past president, I would bet that would make you a great member. You know, because I would bet that being a president of the Groundwater Association brings with it some responsibilities.
Quite a bit of responsibility, but it's a great honor that I've done. But also, I don't like to use the word president as much as I do as serving the industry.
Right.
The industry has been good to me and my family, and I just think it's my duty to pay back a little bit and serve others that probably need a little help that I could get for them.
All right. What is the greatest value you think every year for making it an appointment to be a part of the Groundwater Expo each and every year?
The fellowship that you create with each person that you meet here, passing along information, technology that we get to have here, and also the classes and the seminars to learn what's going on.
Right.
It's just a learning experience.
Yeah, it changes pretty quick, doesn't it?
Changes
yeah, you got to
fast.
try to keep up.
Changes fast.
Oh, that's awesome. Lloyd Watson, we appreciate you being with us. Thanks so much, past president here of the Groundwater Association. And this is not too far from your house, so you kind of like the Nashville location.
35 miles to home, I love it.
It's awesome. Lloyd, great to see you.
See you.
Welcome back to the MudTech stage at the Groundwater Expo. Here with Don Hansen, Clear Creek Associates. How are you, sir?
Very good. How are you?
Doing well. Good to see you. We're talking about a talk and a presentation that you're going to give. Tell us about your workshop, or what's your the expo, the presentation you're going to give here at the expo.
Yeah. Tomorrow morning at 8:30, I'll be spending just shy of an hour and a half going over some pretty heavy details on high-capacity well design. We'll be looking at material selection, meaning steel types. We'll be looking at screen selection, installation techniques. We'll be looking at how to assess both water quality, water quantity, and methods that you can use to do that while you're completing the exploratory boring, so that you can predict. We can provide the clients with, here are some options for completing the well, and you're kind of balancing the quality and the quantity, because most clients want the best of both worlds. They want the highest quality and the most quantity. But sometimes you can't give them that. So they get to weigh whether they want to do arsenic treatment and get 3,000 gallons a minute, or do they want to settle for 1,500 gallons a minute with no arsenic treatment. So it's kind of a risk management tool, and so then after that process, we'll go through the installation techniques, well development, which is critical to the successful completion of a well, and then final testing, and then I'll do some case histories on what we predicted from a quality and quantity standpoint versus what we actually saw in the completed well.
And let me ask you, at expos, a lot like the Groundwater Expo, one of the advantages it appears to be for attendance at such is to kind of keep up on the technological advances and changes from year to year. How important is that in what you see?
Well, there are advances in well drilling. There are advances in material selection. We've come to understand, particularly municipalities that have to put in a lot of wells, they realize the benefit of spending money up front, going for using stainless steel well screen versus low carbon steel, because they see the long-term cost benefit of doing that. While there's higher upfront costs, you have a much greater longevity, and you're not replacing your wells so often, and you're not having to find new sites to do that, because it always gets harder and harder, and you have land costs. So kind of a life cycle cost analysis, and so you do have to keep up on that. There's new technologies in filter pack. There's manufactured filter pack now that are glass beads that can be used. And then the drilling technologies are haven't changed a whole lot.
Right.
There are some new fluid additives to help stabilize the borehole. There are chemical treatment to help remove those during the development process, and those do change over time, and you have to keep up on that.
If our viewers want more information about you and your company, how's the best way to find out more about you?
They can email me at dhanson, and that's with an O, at clearcreekassociates.com.
Okay.
We have offices in Scottsdale and Tucson. We have an office in Northern Virginia and California. Or they can call 480-659-7131.
That's awesome. Don, good to see you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks so much. Here with Ron from Mud Technology on the floor of the Music City Center. You all are a great partner to the Groundwater Association. Just a great partnership over the years.
Yes, we've been the last couple of years, and we just love this show. We love the people. We love this industry, and there's a few things we're bringing to this industry that we're hopefully going to help you guys grow. And that's one of the things is we build robust equipment to meet the demands and the needs you're going to need out there. We've also implemented some really small changes that made a monumental difference. All right. One of the things we've done in this type of equipment, in these reclaimers and things, used to have direct horizontal connections, which you had to wrestle the hoses up to, and have blowouts and all types of things. We integrated a nice little 45-degree angle here, which makes it easy attachment. But on top of that, it doesn't restrict the flow of your fluid. And there's another thing that we do with our robust equipment is all of our equipment is undercoated with Armor All. All this equipment is used in a very harsh environment. You understand that this equipment gets worn, and what we do is we overbuild all of our equipment to meet those requirements.
A great partner of the Groundwater Association is Mud Technology. What's the booth number for folks to come see?
329. Come by and see us.
All right, 329. Mud Technology. You'll find them right here at the 2013 Groundwater Expo. Welcome back to the Mud Tech stage here on Groundwater TV. Looking forward to this, using this platform to meet the board candidates, one of which is Dennis Crayon, a candidate for the board with the National Groundwater Association. Dennis, how are you, sir?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Doing very well, thank you. First of all, what is it that motivates you to run for this position?
Giving the opportunity to give back to the association, having been a well driller for about 20 years, I've discovered that through the association there are a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that I believe that I can help support now going into the future.
And what is it from your background and your experience that you believe that you bring to the table that makes you a unique candidate?
Well, I have a number of skills that I've developed over the years. I came out of the service, the Air Force, after 10 years writing for general officers, and then I found myself behind an environmental well water drill rig, pushing a shovel, and after about 20 years became a journeyman licensed driller for the state of New Jersey.
Right.
Spent about 20 years in the field, became their fleet mechanic for a couple of years, a large drilling firm in New Jersey, became the purchasing manager as well as their director of health and safety. So having spent a number of years doing a number of different things, it brings my talents to the table, having different perspectives that I can represent the different areas of the board in different ways.
Well, it's great to meet you. Dennis Crayon, candidate for the board of the National Groundwater Association.
I look forward to your support. Thank you very much.
We welcome David Rudolph to the Mud Tech stage here at the 2013 Groundwater Expo. David, how are you, sir?
Hi, Dave. Good to meet you.
Good to see you. Now, let me get your bio right. All right, a geologic engineer and professor of the Department of Earth and Environmental Sciences, and cross-appointed to the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering at the University of Waterloo. Given a presentation here at the Expo. Talk to us, first of all, about the presentation that you're giving. Tell us a little about that.
Sure. So the presentation I have for tomorrow and what I've been taking on the tour over the year looks at the relationship between groundwater specifically and how agriculture is managed worldwide. And agriculture, of course, is a major user of water, and it has a very significant influence on the hydrologic cycle itself. So what I've been looking at is how to manage that resource, groundwater resource, and sustain a viable agricultural environment together. So sustainability of both of those together.
And you said you have been for about the past year? You've been traveling and giving this talk?
Yeah, so as part of the Darcy lecture series, we're let's say, given the task to take a lecture series as far as we can around the world as we're invited. And that's gone as far away as Adelaide, Australia, up to Helsinki, Finland, to Rome, to Vancouver.
Right.
All around the world over the course of about 12 months.
Right.
So a total of about 50 different locations.
How has that experience and what has that been like for you, but also how is that conversation going around the globe?
Well, from an experience point of view, it's obviously a privilege to be able to be exposed to the way the research community is looking at problems, all kinds of different problems, some related to what I'm talking about, some completely different.
Right.
In terms of interest and I guess sort of relevance, the topic itself hits a note with many countries that are looking to food security as an important future issue.
Absolutely.
For them, particularly in the light of climate change and management of water overall. So I think it hit a reasonably good pitch in terms of acceptance that way.
Yeah. If our viewers maybe were not able to make your talk, how's the best way for them to find out more about you or to get in touch with you?
So if one of the ways to do that is of course to get on the National Groundwater Association's website. The lecture itself will be available as a download feed, as all the Darcy lecturers have done in the past. So I'd encourage anyone who's interested in it to get right on the website and look for it. That's what it's designed to do. It's an educational piece.
Yeah, awesome. David, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you, Dave.
Appreciate the time. Here at the 2013 Groundwater Expo, Dave Evener, you and your team, whenever you get to this point, are you, you're close to the finish line, I guess, aren't you?
Oh yeah, it's been a whole year's worth of work, and it's exciting to see it all come together.
You know, we're in Nashville this year, and you say, when was the last time that this expo was here in Nashville?
Last time we were here was in 2001. We used to be at the old convention center. We've outgrew that back in 2001, and so we were waiting for it to come back here as soon as they would build this convention center. So it opened this year, and we were excited to come back.
I mean, a much larger space. Is this a reflection of the Groundwater Association and the growth just for the association as a whole?
Yes, we got about 300 exhibitors here. This year we won a award to be one of the top 10 growth companies as far as square footage for exhibit sales, which we are excited to get, and we keep hoping to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah. What about this year's expo are you just most excited about, or really maybe something that's a little different this year than in years past?
We've tried a bunch of new things this year, and we're excited about them all. We have 2 concerts since we're here in the Music City. We have our Sweethearts of the Rodeo at the Bellamy Brothers. Sweethearts opening the show, and the Bellamy Brothers closing the show. We have a new talk series called the H2O Talk, which stands for humanitarian, health, and opportunities in groundwater, being kicked off by Mike Campana and Tom Hanna, two excellent speakers. Make sure you catch them. And we have some tours of the exhibit hall for people who are kind of a little bit frightened to go up to a booth that they don't know anything about. So we have some tour guides walking through them this year. So it's a bunch, and then we also have a skills box area of people who can test your skills on certain things.
Right. It's going to be a great, a great expo once again. You guys do a great job. I know a lot of hard work, but Dave Evener and the crew here, the Groundwater Association, do a great job. Best of luck this year.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad to have you guys here.
Here with John Miller of Mud Technology. How you doing, sir?
Doing fine. David, how you doing?
Doing well. Good to see you again. Thanks for your partnership with us here at the Groundwater Expo.
Well, thank you. And thank you guys for inviting us here and being here with us to help us tell the world about our equipment.
Yeah, you got some great stuff, don't you?
Yes, sir. I think we do. I think we got some of the best in the market.
Yeah, talk to us about what we see, what we're in front of here.
What we have here is our Raptor series unit. It's a 600 gallon per minute recycler. One of the things we do with Mud Tech is we go all the way up to a 2,000 gallon per minute recycler. Well, we took the features of our big units and incorporated them into our smaller units. Last year we had this unit here. We actually only had skid mounted units. We talked to the industry. One of the things we find real important when we come to these trade shows, one of the things they needed was trailers, or at least a very easy way to move this equipment around from job site to job site, or even on the job site. Okay. So we've come back this year with these units with trailers underneath them with a little bit more mobility, if you will. Then we brought our 1200 unit, which is the big brother to this one. Both of these units were designed to be used in the water well industry. So they're a smaller footprint, they're easy to move, small tank volume, which the water well drillers have told us they really don't need all of the volume. They need the cleaning capacity with these units. So we use the same linear shakers. We use metal or pipe instead of hose on our cone manifolds. There's very abrasive materials going through those. They last longer. And we use the same generator packages, setup, same concepts that we use on our big units.
Plenty to show when folks visit your booth, right?
Yes, sir. Tell them to come by. You guys come see us at booth 329. We'd love to meet you, and have a great day.
All right, booth 329, Mud Technology. Thank you, sir. Good to see you once again. Be sure and check them out here at the 2013 Groundwater Expo. Privileged to welcome to the Mud Tech stage here at the 2013 Groundwater Expo, Mr. John Jansen. Now, John, you're giving a prestigious lecture and have been doing so for a year. Talk to us about the McElhaney lecture that you've been giving.
Well, the McElhaney lecture is a lecture series in water well technology that's sponsored by Franklin Electric. And the intent is to basically bring a topic to as many audiences around the country as you can. Everything from the well contractors to the scientists and the engineers.
Right.
So it's more of a kind of a big tent rather than maybe a highly technical research. And it's really supposed to be more applied.
Right.
My topic was groundwater sustainability, which is a little bit of a departure from past McElhaney's. This was a little more open-ended and philosophical.
Right.
But it was very well received, and I gave it 42 times around the country in Australia and Canada, been a great experience.
Yeah. For you, what was your takeaway? Was there anything that maybe you learned or you really took away from that experience?
Well, what was really interesting is, you know, talking to so many different states and countries, you would think they all would have different issues and different problems. But what I really came away with was they all have about the same issues. They're just at different stages of the same cycle of the problem. They're all facing some type of water sustainability issues. And they have different regulatory frameworks and different economies and political frameworks. But it's all about the same process. It's just how far along they are.
Yeah. And is the McElhaney lecture, is that available online?
Yes, that's online on the NGWA website. There's a link to the first presentation actually I gave a year ago at the Expo in Las Vegas.
Yeah, all right, so check it out there.
Sure.
We appreciate the time.
Hey,
thanks so much, and congratulations on all that great work. We appreciate the time here at the 2013 Groundwater Expo.
Hi, Mom.
We're here on the floor of the Music City Center, site of the 2013 Groundwater Expo, with some of our favorite people on earth, Beth Ann and John Miller of Mud Technology. How are you all doing?
We're great. It's great to see you guys again. We're happy to be here.
We are excited about this. You're not only you're going to be here. You got the booth, and the booth is number
329.
329, but you're also a neat new addition is how the stage out there and some of the interviews out there, the Mud Technology stage. So you guys, what is it that brings you back every year to this expo?
Well, I'll tell you, it's always a great show. We love the National Groundwater Show, and we enjoy meeting new friends, and we get to connect with old friends, and we get to see you guys. So it's a pleasure to be back here. And this is Nashville, Tennessee, so we went from the Sin City to the Music City.
That's right, not a bad trade for sure. John, for you, how different does this technology and this industry change? So whenever you come to shows like this, is it an opportunity to kind of see what's new out there?
It is. You know, it allows us the opportunity to talk to our customers. It's almost like having all these guys come to us for a change instead of us having to go to them to try to find out what they like, what they need in their equipment. And we go home from these shows with ideas and the opportunity to try and make something a better product. We incorporate all this information into our units, and it brought some of these new ideas to this show.
And you all have a great-looking group behind you. Now who is a part of the Mud Technology team that the folks are going to get to meet this year?
Well, we are happy to, on behalf of the entire Mud Technology family, to welcome everybody here. But today we have with us part of the Mud Tech family, and I'm going to start on this end. This is our Vice President of Operations. This is Dwayne Witten, who I think everybody met last year. Right. And for the first time, we're proud to have our daughter, Megan Ann, with us. She is the newest member in the Mud Tech family. And then we have Jan Wadsworth, who usually sets these shows up and takes care of all the details and things at Mud Tech. And also our newest salesman, that's Ron McGrath. He started with us right after the show last year.
Well, it is going to be a fantastic year. Glad to see all of you all here. See you once again. And again, booth number 329.
Yes, sir.
All right, and tell the folks they need to come by and see you, right?
You guys come see us, get to know us, let us get to know you. Welcome to Nashville.
And have a great time.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show. 2013 Groundwater Expo. Make your way to booth 329 and see our friends here at Mud Technology. Excited to welcome Michael Campana to the stage from Oregon State University. I love the title of the talk that you gave here at the 2013 Groundwater Expo, Hydrophilanthropy. Help us understand, what is hydrophilanthropy?
Well, that's a great question, as I was just alluding to a few minutes ago. Originally, and I didn't coin the term, actually a colleague of mine who's also an NGWA member, Dave Kramer, coined it a couple of years, 5 or 6 years ago, called me up and he said, tell me about this hydrophilanthropy stuff that you do. And I said, hydrophilanthropy? Anyway, I defined it originally as kind of the altruistic concern for the water, sanitation, and hygiene needs of people, let's say, less fortunate than you.
Right.
And oftentimes people assume that to mean that you're going to, say, Sub-Saharan Africa or South Asia.
Region,
right.
Yeah.
Or maybe here in the United States, an Indian reservation, okay? And I think when I think of hydrophilanthropy, I still think along those lines, but as I mentioned to you, my best definition of hydrophilanthropy is, you know, I can't give you a definition, but I know it when I see it.
Yeah.
And I've expanded that to include working in your own community. And I suspect here in Nashville, just like any other community in the United States, you could probably go within a couple of score miles from the downtown where we are now and find people who are having difficulty getting clean drinking water or having sanitation problems, but can't afford to do anything about it.
Yeah.
And so if you go into an area like that, right in your own backyard, maybe your own county or your own community, and you help these people, and it's best if you can help people help themselves so they don't have to keep coming back. Why shouldn't that be hydrophilanthropy? You don't have to go overseas and to do things like that. So I've broadened it quite a bit.
Yeah, and I like your example there with the city council or whatever the board where you live. It's leveraging your experience, leveraging your knowledge, because oftentimes, you know, that's, I mean, your own backyard, you think, well, they don't need me. No, they need you.
Yeah, and I suspect that most members of NGWA at one time or another have served voluntarily on some county commission or city board to maybe protect the watershed or maybe to design regulations for, say, setbacks, wells from septic tanks, et cetera. They don't get paid for that. That's hydrophilanthropy in my broader view. So as I get older, I think there's a, you know, it's a big tent, let's put it that way.
Yeah. If folks watching this want to find out more about you or get in touch with you, how's the best way to do so?
Well, you can't call my people because I don't have people, okay? The best way to do it is probably send me an email.
Okay.
My email address is fairly simple. It's aquadoc, AQUADOC, at Oregon State, that's one word, .edu. So aquadoc at OregonState.edu is probably the best way to get hold of me.
Still enjoying the work you're doing at Oregon State?
Oh, yeah.
How long have you been there?
I've been at Oregon State, I'm starting my 8th year. And obviously, as you can tell by my age, I'm not 8 years out of graduate school, so I've been, before that, 17 years at University of New Mexico, 13 years at a place called the Desert Research Institute. So I've kind of been around the block, but I don't tire of this stuff. In fact, the older I get, even though things are obviously slowing down physically, I get more energized by this kind of work, and it's hydrophilanthropy that's doing it, and also the students I run into at Oregon State are amazing. And a lot of them want to do this kind of work, and so that keeps me going. So yeah.
Well, we appreciate your time.
David, thanks very much.
And appreciate you being a part of this. Here with Irvin of Aqualocate. Need to check them out here at the 2013 Groundwater Expo. Tell us, what is Aqualocate about?
Aqualocate owns a specialized type of geophysical equipment. It can tell the depth, yield, and quantity of resistive liquids, basically water, oil, or gas. Come by and find out more about Aqualocate and the product we provide. Also, don't forget to come by booth 1314 and enter to win a GoPro Silver Edition.
That's awesome. 1314, check out our friends here at Aqualocate at the 2013 Groundwater Expo. Here on the MudTech stage of the 2013 Groundwater Expo, Todd Hunter, a candidate for the board at the NGWA. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Good to see you. Love the opportunity to talk with these board candidates. So for you, what is it that prompted you to run for this position?
Well, I've been involved in this industry for, almost 35 years now.
Right.
And for me, I've been very fortunate. I've worked very hard through the years, and I realized that this association is what actually made it all work for me, quite frankly. So this is a way for me to, give back to those that gave to me and hopefully benefit everyone in the process.
Now, tell me, what is it that you believe you bring to the table for the board?
I have a high level of enthusiasm, a long list of experience, and I'm certainly dedicated.
From an experience standpoint, tell us a little bit about that.
My experience, I started as a driller's helper for $5 an hour in central Nevada, working on a mineral exploration project when I was 20 years old. I worked in that industry for a number of years, got involved in the water well drilling industry in Boulder, Colorado in 1980. From that point forward, I've managed to work for different companies at different times in different places. Spent a number of years with U.S. Geological Survey. All total, I have done projects in 38 states, Alaska, and the Aleutian chain.
You do have quite a bit of experience. Well, you're a candidate for the board.
Yes, sir.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Todd Hunter, candidate for the board of the NGWA here. That taking place at the 2013 Groundwater Expo. Here with Fred Ruthage, Hydro Resources, on the ground floor of the 2013 Groundwater Expo. Tell us about Hydro.
Hydro is a drilling and pump contractor servicing the western and central U.S. We're about 400 people strong, and we're a growing entity. We're looking at locations, adding locations every year. We've got groundwater imaging to go along with our drilling, so we can offer specialty services along with drilling and pump services.
Sounds great. So folks want to come by and see you. What's your booth number?
1047.
1047. Hydro Resources here at the 2013 Groundwater Expo.